let's move on to the Clintons. So the House is going to be voting a Wednesday to hold Bill and Hillary Clinton in contempt of Congress for defying a congressional subpoena over the Epstein probe. Just a reminder that 9 House Democrats voted in committee to hold Bill Clinton in contempt of Congress. 3 voted against, voted for holding Hillary Clinton in contempt of Congress as well. Jeffries, at the time, the leader, whipped against it. Pelosi has scolded members for backing this. And it looks like Jeffries is not expected to whip against this on the floor. Dan, I am curious, do you think the Clintons don't want to make a deal on this because they're hoping to be seen as martyrs in some way? Because we've been predicting that before this comes to the floor, the Clintons will make a deal with the committee. They'll schedule some sort of hearing or deposition of some sort. That hasn't happened yet, even though a bunch of Democrats have turned against them and voted for this.
I know the Clintons are being counseled to cut a deal.
Right.
And I think they've had to go through the 7 stages of grief, which is they were livid and on the warpath for the last 2 weeks about what has happened. How did this happen? Who are the people? What levers can we pull to stop this? And I think it pains me to say this, they've realized they can't. And so the fact that Hakeem Jeffries has now put word out, we are not going to whip against this on the floor, which is, in other words, we're going to lose. We're going to lose huge. And it's better for me personally to not be embarrassed that I leaned in so hard against something that so overwhelmingly passes. So I think the question is, what kind of a deal can the Clintons cut? I think they're trying to think that through. I would be surprised if this goes through, because if it does, they're going to lose, and they're going to lose huge.
Let's underscore, this would be a bipartisan vote asking the DOJ to come after the Clintons for ignoring a congressional subpoena.
Correct.
Wow. Whoa.
But you know, the funny thing is, this is one of those votes that if you're a Democrat and you're like a Jamie Raskin, who is on record on the floor of the U.S. House saying very clearly, no one should ever defy a congressional subpoena. Like suddenly having to eat those words. And if you're in, actually, I just want to show you guys this because it was last minute, so I will admit that. Let's see if we can play it.
I mean, I will vote yes on contempt against them and anybody else as long as Pam Bondi is part of it.
So you vote no on the Clintons?
I will definitely vote no on any partisan measure.
When you are subpoenaed to testify in court or in Congress, you show up, period. So we must enforce the rule of law here, my colleagues. We must do it. If you act deliberately with sneering, cavalier contempt for the American people and their representatives, we will hold you in contempt.
Yeah, I someone should introduce 2021 Jamie Raskin to 2026 Jamie Raskin. But I mean, you're that's so here's the question. I get both sides do this, but the reality is that if you're a Democrat and you vote no, going forward, that will be the new standard, right? So this is, and it's politics. I get it, but that's going to get played over and over again. How many Democrats a few years back said no one is above the law? You cannot defy a congressional subpoena. So that's why I think Hakeem is basically realizing I'm going to lose this vote. Dan's right, but also like I got to be careful what I put our caucus in the middle of going forward.
Well, and don't underestimate how many people in our base want to do this to Donald Trump when he leaves office.
Yeah, right. Well, that's the
point. So they're like, we're going to go on the record. We don't care about the Clintons anymore. Again, all my Clinton family out there, I know you, I have heard from you. I know you disagree, but the reality is that all these young members don't care about them anymore. They don't fear them, but they want to go after Donald and Melania Trump on January 21st on stuff like this. And so they're going to go on the record to say ex-presidents are average citizens like everybody else.
Can I just say one more thing about Jamie Raskin? I mean, I've covered him very closely over the years, covered the 2 impeachments of President Trump during the first term. And I will tell you that Raskin was sort of at the tip of the spear pushing for impeachment, not because of the whole thing with Ukraine and this notion that the president was trying to get a foreign country to interfere in an election. It was because of his ignoring of congressional subpoenas. That was why Raskin initially got on board with the idea of impeaching the president, and he became a huge sort of whip for the caucus, going around and saying, look, this guy has ignored 20 congressional subpoenas. He has to be impeached. So just a little note about Raskin there.
That was 2019, Rachel. Come on.
Oh,